Hi, my name is Senta, and my author name is also Senta Bell Rose or S. Bell Rose. I'm not yet published, but I'm just introducing myself. Today, I'm going to talk about the HB-90 program. And to begin with, I'm making it clear that I am not an affiliate, and there is no affiliate link in the description box. What you're getting from me is my honest opinions about it without any revenue sharing or any benefit to me whatsoever. It's just information for the public. HB-90 stands for Heart Breathing's 90, and Sarah Cannon is the instructor of it, and she is also has her own channel. Sarah Cannon, I think there's also a Heart Breathing's channel too. There's tons of information about this productivity system available. But there's not all of it explains a couple things that I'm going to talk about. To begin with, I was very resistant to taking the HB-90 program. And the only reason I took it was because she offered a deal where if you took Publish and Thrive, you got a discount combining it with the HB-90 program. And I thought that discount was really good. And sometimes she still offers that discount. So look for it if you're interested in taking both of those classes. I was initially very resistant to taking it because most of the information I happened to see prior to taking it was this Kanban board. And I'm like, oh, I know I'm not going to like a Kanban board. I'm not going to want some board with a bunch of sticky notes on it. I have a really small place that I live in. There's just not enough room here for it. But, one of the things I asked, people who had taken it was, do I have to have a Kanban board? And they said, oh, no, you don't have to have a Kanban board. Well, I signed up for the deal and I took it. And actually, I kind of liked the idea of a Kanban board when I was in the class, and I tried it because there were so many people real enthusiastic about it. And I'm kind of a crafty person, and there's a way to do it in kind of a crafty way. And I tried it. I hated the Kanban board. It was so much better when I took the Kanban board down. But the Kanban board is like this little bit of a hole that's like this big. It is not necessary to have a Kanban board to benefit from the HB-90 program or the class. The style of productivity planning is what it really is. It's a productivity system. Now, the other thing was that it's based a lot on a creative life and how to move ahead with your creative business. It doesn't have to be about writing. There are people who take HB-90 who are entrepreneurs, who are YouTube creators, and who don't write other than writing descriptions. They don't do any writing at all. I write as a hobby. I write romance. I also write nonfiction. I'm not published. I intend to publish, but I'm not cranking out even one book a year. I am a really slow writer. I'm very slow at editing, even worse than I am at drafting. And so that was the other reason I was like, well, I'm not into this, incredible productivity process because I have to start a business to support myself and I have chronic health conditions. Oh, those objections are just ridiculous on my part. It is actually really helpful for people who have chronic health conditions and who have complications in their life that they have to juggle things, more than one kind of thing. It's really good to help you with that. It is about measuring the amount of time you have available to work, considering your family, your health, your work, your other obligations. So when I say work on like your tasks, on your goals, how much time do you actually have available in a quarter? And she uses the quarter system that is based upon your quarterly taxes. And there are 13 weeks in each one. Now, I do all my planning for 12 weeks and then 1 week of reset. And I personally have stopped using the tax quarters and I'm using the seasons because I flow better with the seasons. And although I will pay my taxes quarterly, I don't really want to base everything I do on that. It doesn't matter. HB-90 doesn't require that you have to start Q1 on this date, and you can't start it on a different date, or you can't have a different system. It is such a flexible program, and the community does not have a whole bunch of rules that you have to follow in order to be accepted in the community of other people working on improving their productivity. The HB-90 alumni group that I'm a part of on Facebook is some of the most wonderful people, and they are incredibly supportive. And you can share that you're doing something different, and people actually go, wow, I like that idea. And sometimes somebody will come up with an idea and others will go on board. That happened to me. I was struggling with the fact that it just didn't fit to do these quarters. I was doing them because that's what she taught, and that I have a tendency to look for what the rules are and follow the rules. And somebody piped in that they were going to switch to doing seasons. And I spent some time reflecting on that and realized, no, actually seasons really fits me. So I'm currently in spring season. Spring season started March 1st, and it will end on June 1st. Well, June 1st starts summer. So at the end of May, it'll end. And I plan for 12 weeks, and then I have a reset week. So it's still 13. I just don't plan on having any goals that I achieve on that reset week. I want all my goals achieved before I get to that week. That week is for review and for planning the next season. And that takes time. And so I actually plan my time to do that by giving myself that week where I'm not working on other things. I'll probably still write or edit that week, but I won't count the time I spend toward any goals that particular week. The other part of it that's been really helpful for others that didn't really work for me, but has been, other people have talked about learning this actually was a pivotal moment for them, and it was really powerful. So I'm going to share what didn't work for me, but did work for a lot of others. And that is understanding the amount of time you have available for the 13 weeks, and then understanding an estimate of how much time it will take to get done the things you want to get done. And a lot of people who take the class, a lot of my classmates who went through it with me, and also alumni that write in the alumni Facebook group, talk about the fact that that was really powerful, that they were wanting to achieve double the amount of work than they actually had time to achieve. No wonder they were always feeling behind. They never were able to fully achieve everything because they were setting themselves up for failure. And the reason I say that that doesn't work for me is because I don't estimate how long it takes me to do things and then target how much I set as a goal for the season or quarter. I'm just going to say quarter from here on, but you get my point. I don't do that. I don't estimate how long these tasks are going to take and make sure that I have enough time to get them done. What I do is I set the goal to spend this amount of time working on these type of tasks. So many hours that I intend to spend in client contact, so many hours that I intend to spend on writing, so many hours that I intend to spend on administrative. And I am figuring out how long it takes me to do those things. And I'm far more productive when I have a pull kind of goal system. Oh, I've got this particular task done. Now I'm going to pull from my list of tasks that I would like to do at some point. This is the next highest priority thing. And now I'm working on that. But I achieved my goal if I've spent this amount of hours this season working on that. And I do set monthly goals too. I'll set a monthly goal to work so many hours that month on certain things. So for example, I want to write a minimum of 6 hours a week. And now for me, writing means not just drafting, it also means editing. I happen to be in a phase where I'm editing right now, but sometimes I'm rewriting a whole scene. So it may look like drafting, but it's still an editing process because it's going from a first draft to a second draft. And very often you have to completely rewrite a scene. I am getting a lot more done following this system than I did before I took the HB-90. Even though I don't follow it exactly, my productivity has really improved. And so is my confidence that I am moving toward my dreams, my goals. It's not just a pipe dream that I can never quite accomplish because I don't see any progress. Well, I do see progress, which brings me to one of the things that is super helpful to me. And a lot of other people talk about how helpful it is to them as well. And that is doing a weekly review of productivity. Now, there's also a monthly review, but it's basically just like one extra question above the weekly review. So I just basically do a weekly review. And I don't worry about the monthly review because for me, when I complete a task, it goes on my ta-da done list. And I will put in my weekly review, did any tasks go on my ta-da list? Ta-da, done. That's what I mean by that. Not my to-do, but my to-done list. And, so I will celebrate that in my weekly review and talk about how proud I am that I got that done. But I also will set down one of the really cool questions that she suggests is, what do I need to do this next week to support myself more? And it's supporting yourself for your recovery. In my case, recovery from burnout, but I'm not the only one with burnout. There's a lot of people in the, who are using her system who are dealing with burnout. There's also a question that deals with what obstacles did I have this week? So, you start out with what successes you had, how well you did, praise, happy, happy. And then you talk about what the obstacles were. Well, that has been really helpful to me because when I have a week that I didn't maybe do all the hours of work that I wanted to do, not seeing that as a failure. Well, what went wrong? What did you not do right? That's not what the question is. The question is, what were the obstacles this week? And the obstacles could have been, I had emotional flashbacks and then had exhaustion as a result of it. Because if you have PTSD or CPTSD, you may relate to the fact that it's exhausting. If you're having emotional flashbacks or even visual memory flashbacks, those are also very exhausting, but even emotional flashbacks, which are what most people have in PTSD, where all of a sudden there's this flare up of some emotion, for example, anger or guilt or sadness or whatever it is, that is overpowering for a brief period of time. It's exhausting and it's harder to focus and brain fog sets in. And a week or so ago, I had a fever for 3 days because I got an illness, which I get illnesses really easily, even though I take supplements to help prevent that. I have severe asthma, and it seems that my immune system says, oh, let's catch that bug. And I get a fever. A fever is a sign that my immune system is working, by the way. It's not a bad thing, but it's still hard to concentrate when you have a fever. I had it for 3 days and I got over it. I'm fine now. But that was the obstacle I put in that review that week. I actually missed some of my writing time and I missed some of my other productivity things that I wanted to get done. But I had a fever for 3 days. And rather than beat myself up about how non-productive I was, I'm being realistic. This is what happened. Next week, I have jury duty. So there's probably going to be a whole bunch of stuff I don't get done if I end up having to sit there at the courthouse about, all of, and the whole thing about the jury duty. Hopefully they will just dismiss me and it'll be done, but that you never know. So I'm actually planning ahead of time. I don't set weekly goals. I set monthly goals. When I set the goals for the month of March, I didn't know I was going to have jury duty. So I may not meet these goals, but I'm kind of challenged to see if I can't do a little extra here and there and try to keep up and achieve the goals in the end anyway. I think the HB-90 program is really helpful. And I really want to stress the fact that not all of what is taught will work for everyone, but it's adjustable. and you can make it work for you. And there's support from people that encourages adjusting as needed. And even the instructor for it will say, take what works for you. Make this work in your own way. I don't have a Kanban board. I track everything in my planner. I'm very, very happy with that system. But one of the things about a Kanban board is that a Kanban board is a visual thing. And I can see how having visual goals can make a difference. I was just looking to see. It's not in this book, it's in a different book. Okay, so this is my common planner. And what I have done in here is, instead of just having what did I get done, I actually have these trackers. How far done am I with these different things? And there's room for me to add more. And these are just 5-star reviews that are often, they're stickers that you can buy to review books, but I like the 5 stars for measuring the progress in the different projects I have. And as I get further along, I color them in more, and that's very visual. And it's something I wouldn't have thought to do, but the goal was, because I think there's something to be said for having visual goals. I was just looking to see if I had something similar on another page that I could show in my common planner. Oh, I love the common planner. It is such a great planner, but I am not finding what I'm looking for. Oh, yeah. I have specific goals for the month. Here is my February goals that I had back in February. And as I got things done, I colored in the stars more. And, I didn't get everything done in February. Yeah. The truth is that one of these I already knew I definitely wasn't going to get done. And the other things were things I was pretty sure I would. So that's kind of it. The results that I got wasn't exactly what I wanted for February. I wanted a little better than that. But part of doing the review is talking about what the obstacles were. And there were some clear obstacles in the month of February for me. Well, primarily my health and my PTSD, which are things that can be derailing for people. I am really healed pretty far from my PTSD, but I'm not 100% healed. And although I can function and do my work and do my job, my creativity takes hits and I'm less creative. And I struggle sometimes with that. Again, if you've been going back and forth on the HB-90, I wanted to give you some additional information to help you maybe making a decision. While I don't follow it exactly, it has definitely influenced how I work. I had a friend of mine ask me, do I think it was worth the cost? Because it's not cheap. Once you pay for it, you have it for life. If she updates it, you get the updated information. Every quarter, you can take it again with a group of people. You can do the setup stuff for every quarter. I don't, because I work a little off. My quarters are not the same quarters as everybody else. Most people are doing the tax quarters. I really prefer doing the seasons. And I like that what I'm doing is a little off from everybody else so that I don't compare myself to them. Because I can do that sometimes. And it's really not helpful for me to compare myself as a not yet published author with best-selling authors who some of whom are able to write and actually publish 3 or 4 books a year. It's not fair to compare myself to them by any stretch. But I can sometimes think, well, I should be able to do as well. No. When you're first learning something, it takes you longer to do it, period. That's just how it is. So I said, if you are really good at time blocking and making sure that your goals are realistic to the amount of time that you have available, HB-90 will help you do that. What she said was, oh, I was hoping it would motivate me to actually get my writing done. And I got to tell you, no, HB-90 is a productivity system. It is not the magic wand that is going to get you in front of your computer typing up what you need to type up. You're not going to get more writing done if you don't have more time to spend on your writing than you currently have. It will not create more time for you. It might help you prioritize how you're using your time. There are people in the HB-90 program that in the course of looking at how much time they have available, realize that they need to make more time. And I did make more time for my writing. And one of the things that I did was I started hiring somebody to come and help me do housework. But the reason for that is that I would do the housework and then I would be in so much pain that I didn't want to sit at my desk and do any writing because it was too painful to do the writing and then spend the day seeing clients sitting at my desk. I needed to shorten how much time I was at my desk because of my pain. But hiring somebody to come in and especially do the harder cleaning that is physically demanding for me personally enables me to have more energy and less pain. And I am writing way more than I've ever written before. It was, in a way, HB-90 to help me do that. But I happen to know that person, and she wouldn't have had magically more time. I'm offered to help her by having more, meetings where we met together and we both would write together. And she didn't have the time, legitimately didn't have the time to do that. That's the issue. It's not going to make more time in your life. It might help you prioritize, but it's not going to create a different circumstance. And you're not magically going to be all of a sudden more motivated to get stuff done if, again, you don't have the time to do it to begin with. You can be really motivated, but if you really don't have the time to get this big stack of things done, then the system will help you lower your stack of things to get done to match the amount of time you have available. That HB-90 will do. If you're already pretty good at that, it may not be worth the money. I think it's worth it for me. I don't feel that it was a waste of my money. I feel that it's been very helpful, even though I don't follow. I probably follow about half of it. And it's still worth the money that I spent. And I also did get it on a discount with Publish and Thrive, which is a really good program for teaching you about how to publish, self-publish your books. And even though I may try to use a small publisher to publish with, I want to self-publish my nonfiction. That class is going to more than pay for itself. So there you go. There's my endorsement. You can check out Sarah Cannon and her YouTube channel. Just do a search for Sarah Cannon. I'm probably not going to put in the description box a link to it because I'm not endorsing necessarily. I'm not an affiliate of it. I'm just expressing my opinion. And I think the program is a good program, but it wasn't perfect for me. And I love the fact that I can feel a part of the community of other people working on their productivity and be a unicorn and do it differently. And I think that's one of the benefits of their program, of Sarah Cannon's program, is that openness. So there you go. That's my opinion of the HB-90. Thank you very much. Until next time, bye-bye.